Hello everyone, my name is Rage and welcome one and all to Mod of the Week, and this week we're actually going to be doing a mod that I thought of. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be like completely, oh my god, how has no one ever thought of that? But what is my voice doing right now? What? Just give me a second. That's actually scared me a little bit. Am I possessed? Okay. I think I'm good. I'm good. Alright, mod of the week, okay? Idea. Alright, so, idea came from the fact that I cannot speak English word correct, and also the fact that we love Brimstone, don't we? We really like Brimstone. It's a great little item, but, I mean, the one downside is you have to charge, you fire, you charge, you fire. Now with anti-grav, you could keep it going a lot. With high tiers, you can fire a lot. But it's not quite the same as just being able to just keep firing and never stop, ever. Just constantly firing Brimstone, which means that for this time only, this is going to be the one and only, probably Isaac run I ever control with a controller. But how fantastic is this? Now, don't get me wrong. Again, it's not a completely mind-blowing idea. I have no idea. Oh, found bomb! I found bomb! I've just genuinely never played this on a controller, so I have no idea what anything does. But we need the controller so we can have the nice spin with the Brimstone. Otherwise, we're just stuck to the cardinal directions, which is not as good. But yeah, I am just a big fan of this. And you can get this going and just fire lots of individual ones, but mostly it's just absolutely fantastic. It really is. Look at it go. Just constant channeled Brimstone. And again, as I say, there might have been this in some form before, I don't know, but the fantastic modder, the same guy that made the Synergy Lab, cooked this up, and I am very impressed with his talent and thankful for it, because now we get to have some proper whippy Brimstone fun, even without any items enhancing this. It's already fantastic, I think we could agree. So when we get to some lower floors and start really making this happen, I think we're gonna have ourselves a good time. Look at that, just the absolute meltage. But then again, that's kind of the point of Brimstone. It is just absolutely meltage. And of course, because we can be in the darkness, we can end up with some really cool stuff. The little flecks of blood that spark off from the walls where it connects. Oh, don't you like glowing blood in the darkness? Actually, you probably don't. I feel like one of the worst things that could ever inherently happen to a person is to walk in a room that was, you assumed was to be dark and then was met by neon glowing blood. It's actually probably a pretty bad thing to occur. So we're going to switch to peach juice, because peach juice looks amazing in the gloom. Look at that. So much better than the base red. So we're going to get that going on. But again, don't like peach juice. A little bit too full of sugar and not really thirst quenching enough. But then again, peach juice is a god. Look at that. Warm. And then the glowing bits on the floor. I really like that. Just look at, oh god, that just looks really nice. Oh god, I wish I could fire glowing liquids from my mouth. Why can't I do that? Is that too much is that unreasonable? Okay, it's not like that would be a strong superpower. I could arrive on the scene of the crime and get rid of some, terrorist type individuals. Yes, terrorist type. That is a really weird version of Pokemon. No, I can't just arrive at the scene and be like, haha, take this, and, cover them in glowing stuff. They might be a little bit like, oh god, why is this happening? But they're certainly not going to be, oh, fair enough, yeah, you've done it. So whoever is out there deciding who gets what superpowers, can we please talk about this, because I want to make rooms glow. And then if we rewind, Turns out it's actually me who left glowing blood all over your room just to really mess with you. By the way, in the odd chance you do actually end up seeing glowing blood in your room, I do want to point out it's not actually me doing it. It is a complete coincidence. I have no affiliation with any glow blood levers in the world at all. So of course we're going to take lost contact just to have a counter beam, and obviously there's a few other things we can grab that make this good. Although Brimstone doesn't have a crazy amount of synergies, we can have the boomerang. That's what it's called. It's a boomerang, which of course makes our beam a lot more floppy. You know, it's still as powerful as it was before, but it's harder to get a straight one. We're gonna end up having a lot of flop to it, but I think we can still work with that if we try our best. Like, look at that, just like it's getting there. Oh no, it's drooped. Untenable anymore. Untenable. All right, hopefully no one ever listens to any of that without context, actually, now that I think about it, but that is fine. Let's get on with this floor. So, yeah, isn't it cool? Like, I love the modding scene in Isaac. One, because, you know, everything is happening, everything is possible, the potential, everything is glorious, but just a simple little change. The idea of you don't have to charge Brimstone suddenly makes for an absolutely phenomenal run. Like, it is such an inherently tiny little thing, but it's so awesome, isn't it? And good news, Everett. Sorry, I can do a better one than that. Good news, everyone. No, that's not as good. Good news. No, I've lost it. Have you ever been able to do that? You've been able to do a voice or an accent, but then, you know, the pressure that builds when somebody goes, oh, look, Tim can do a fantastic alien voice. And then you're like, God damn it, Dave, way to put me on the spot. Okay, fine, I'll try my best. And, you know, and he goes for it. It sounds really cool. But some people tend to crack under pressure on the spot. And, you know, you gotta allow for that, all right? You can't just do it. Good news, everyone. That was a little bit better, but the everyone is a little bit off. I'm not too happy about that, but I can still do my Palpatine, at least I think I can. I might have just set myself up for a massive failure there. No, yeah, I can still do that one. That's good. All right, fantastic. What has this got to do with what we're doing right now, you ask? Absolutely nothing. Nothing I do has anything to do with anything. I basically drift through life, one awkward situation to the next. Oh, talking of situations, I did find some videos of me sleeping the other day. I say find some videos, that sounds like there's just a random secret collection of clips of me sleeping that I decided to record at one point in my life. So we're going to have ourselves this going on, and then we have quite the cool little waggly experience, which is good. No, apparently I do weird things in my sleep, and I refuse to accept. I have no idea how to look at them. Oh, I guessed it first time. Oh, that's fantastic. And according to Daddy, she says I do really weird things in my sleep, and I'm like, no, I don't. I am the most normalist person that you ever could meet. And like, fine, I will record you one day, and you will see it. And that day finally arrived recently, and I do weird things in my sleep. So this is gonna sound initially. Oh, hello. Yep. Get melted. Fantastic. Let's what was bomb again? I forgot what bomb. There we go. There was bomb. All right, looking good. And look, there's no real way to say this. I guess not. I apparently tickle myself in my sleep. I know it's initially like a what? You what? And that's what I thought when I got told that I did this. Why I didn't believe, but no, I tickle myself in my sleep, and I don't just mean like a little bit, you know, just like my hand moves a little, and it's like, oh, you're kind of tickling yourself, you know, it could be anything, could be random movement. No, I apparently, and this, I wouldn't believe if it wasn't on camera. And also, look at that, the extra technology going through it, it's starting to look really nice. Let's have a little bit of darkness on it. Yes, oh, this is great. Oh, but no, I don't just do anything kind of subtle. I literally stick my arm straight up in the air. Imagine you're lying on your back in bed, and you have to touch your ceiling. Obviously, you won't be able to reach unless you're, I guess, Harry Potter and you're in a cupboard, in which case, what the hell is going on with your life, but for most people, you probably can't reach your ceiling. Otherwise, you also might need to do some serious repairs on your house if that's something. This might be a good way for you to figure out that what you're currently experiencing is not normal if plaster dust is actually falling on you while you're sleeping. But for those of you that have, a roof, if you try and reach the roof while you're on your back in your bed, it's not going to happen. But imagine the motion of your hand that you would need to take to reach it. You'd outstretch it, you'd fully lock your elbows, and you'd try and reach the ceiling, okay? So all of your body would be horizontal, and your arm would be vertical, and standing ready to attention, trying to stretch towards the ceiling. So in my sleep, I move my arm into that position, so just straight up, extended, which again is something that even just doing the action in my sleep is weird to me, because, the whole idea of sleepwalking and doing actual things in your sleep, I'm like, what the hell, that's kind of freaky, why, how could anyone do that? Obviously, I get that it's real, but it kind of freaks me out in a way that I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, so my arm's extended like that, and then my other one genuinely just starts tickling up and down my arm, just gently running my fingertips up and down my arm while I'm asleep and while it's fully extended. And apparently this is pretty freaky to behold, because no idea if I'm even awake or not or anything like that. Absolutely no idea. Ooh, do we want to get anything like quad? We could get quad. See, I also want to get a little bit Beyblade on, just because this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Look at it. And we whip it round like that. Oh, is this not great? Look at it. And then we'll turn it up even more when we get to the next floor. I think we might go full on, just get maximum perma-brim. I feel like we do need that in our lives. There's a lot of powerfulness we can get out of this, but this is definitely enough for what we're currently wanting. So yeah, apparently I straight up extend my arm to the sky and use my other one to just slowly tickle myself in my sleep, which is a weird thing to even say. I get that, but I guess that's something that I do. And the other reason I bring it up is watching a video of me asleep really kind of freaked me out on a deep level. Have you ever felt that? Have you ever seen a video of yourself sleeping or doing anything, even just lying there peacefully? It freaks me out, and the reason it freaks me out, I think if I had to put a finger on it, is that obviously while you're sleeping, you don't have any memory of what you were doing or why you were doing it, etc., etc. It's just a complete gap for you. So to me, it's seeing me do stuff that I have no memory of, but it obviously happened because it's on film. Like if somebody put you into a zombie trance state and made you do something really weird, oh yeah, and then you woke up, you don't remember, but then you saw a video of you doing something, you yourself, but you don't remember it. Is that not like a little bit freaky? The idea of you weren't conscious and present for that actions that your body is taken, almost like you have lost control of yourself. I don't know how to explain it. It just felt surreal to see myself take actions that I didn't consciously request or even remember. Like almost like I know that it's me, but it's not me, like I'm watching a clone at work, and maybe I'm not making any sense, but it kind of was like, oh my god, gee, what, alright, fair enough, okay, kind of just freaked me out a little bit, I've been freaked out a lot recently. I say recently, I've been freaked out a lot my whole life. I'm in a perpetual state of freakiness. Actually, no, that sounds really bad, doesn't it? Hey baby, want to join my perpetual state of freakiness? How do you like my waggling beam anyway? That wasn't part of the bar example, that was moving on. Although I can forgive you for thinking it was. Want to join my perpetual state of freakiness? How'd you like my waggling beam? Look at it go though. Is this not awesome? Just permanently channeling Brimstone makes such a difference. It really does. Oh, I am a big fan. Let us darkness it for the last little bit, just a tad, just a little smidgen, just a nice little tad. Yes, die, angel, die. Oh God, what a What a useless item to receive. So we'll go to the next floor, and I think we'll just max power it up. Because we obviously could take a load of other stuff. We could take proptosis, and oh, that really lights everything up. Slow motion. We could always take proptosis and thin out the beam, but, you know, let's see 2020 first. Okay, obviously that doesn't add much spread. Let's try triple shot. Huh. Where's the triple shot? Is it all stacked on top of each other? Does it not work with this? Okay, Dunscap, surely. No, unless it is all the beams stacked on top of each other, in which case that's ridiculous compound damage that I'm now doing. But I guess it doesn't work with this? That's very curious. Huh. There's not really much else left that we can add to Brimstone. It's kind of a anticlimactic item to synergize in that respect. But then again, it's one of the few items that's honestly good enough by itself that you don't even really need to care about it. Can we do cross Brimstone? We can't even do cross Brimstone. I'm going to take both the randoms just to see if anything else. Yeah, look, there's the proptosis straight away. Look at that go. We'll add both the randoms and see if anything else can happen to it, because that's just going to cycle through damn near every effect in the game, and then we will see what's going on. And no, it doesn't affect other items if you are eyeing up Tech X or anything like that. So let's head on then and see just how ridiculous damage this does to the Hush. So yeah, talking of being freaked out recently, yeah, it's really lagging my game out to have this much Brimstone, which I'm kind of cool with in most cases. I mean, you know, if you're at a point where I am firing too much powerful disintegration lasers, you know, there's just so many of them that I'm losing frames, then that's pretty good, you know. It's one of the least problematic problems to possess, personally. Pondering. No, I didn't fall in. How did I not fall in? I'm just getting hit so much. Alright. Well, they died pretty quickly. And there we go. Job is a good one. What would we have in the devil deal? Huh, not a horrible one. So I was walking home from the gym the other night, late at night, like 1 a.m., because I have a really messed up everything, actually. I'm just messed up. So, while I was walking down the street, I was talking to the person I went to the gym with, and I must have sounded like I was genuinely quite high. But it's something that I thought about, and I was like, hang on, that's actually kind of like a thing, really. And the thing in question was, I looked at the streetlights and the fact that without them it would have been pitch black, and I just kind of looked around at how bright it was at night, and I just had a kind of moment of, do you not think that it's really quite surreal? You take it for granted, you don't think about it. But darkness was such a problem for animals, you know, for early humans before we invented ways around it. Yes, we had fire and stuff, but generally the dark of night, darkness is something that we've always had to combat, get around, and just deal with, you know? It's a really hard thing. We're just not evolved to cope with blanket darkness. And the idea that in order to get round that, what we have a current state of is, fuck it, light up everything with shit tons of lights everywhere, you know, street lamps and stuff. I just had this moment of, that's actually kind of ridiculous to think about, right? Like, somebody thought the solution to not being able to see at night was to just straight up light up the night. I mean, obviously, you know, it's not a crazy thought to have in terms of a plan, but the idea that we then went and did it, I don't know, maybe it is just like a, oh man, have you seen my fingers type thought, you know, maybe it is too shower thoughty, but it's just kind of something that I was like, God, the idea that we just countered darkness is really cool. Also, I'm taking a lot of damage, and I don't know why, because this Brimstone is completely blocking tears. How is the Hush even firing any tears? That's why I don't understand. Like, surely everything should be absolutely just getting absorbed. Yeah, look, it's kind of just not doing it. What the hell? We're supposed to get rid of it, Brimstone. I am feeling very very upset right now with your meager efforts at actually stopping tears like you're supposed to. What is the point of the lost contact if you're not going to function? At least killing all the zombies is a very, very easy thing to achieve here. I might actually die, but I don't suppose that's the end of the world. We have very much seen what the potential of this mod can do. Careful. Yep, there we go. So yeah, guys, while we're here then, any of you in the comments, is there any ever kind of like thing you've thought about in Isaac that you've gone, God, it would be awesome if you could do this, if this functioned like this, and you never know, it might end up as a custom mod, and you could see it in action, which would be really awesome. Goddamn, look at all of this. Jesus, just like a snake, it really is. Oh, we are straight up a snake charmer right now, and I think that is pretty damn cool. Hush, if you could die, that'd be real swell. I'm honestly surprised this is doing such a tiny amount of damage. I mean, it's not tiny, right? We're still killing him fairly quickly, but the idea that it's not completely melting him, I think at least now we've confirmed that there's not like 10 brimstone beams just on top of each other, so we can't have multi-beams. Multi-beams! And fruitcake and $3 bill have not seemingly done much of anything, so I guess this is really where the limit of this lies, but that's not horrible. It was still a fantastic amount of fun. Yes, indeed. There we go, guys. We did it. We managed to do it. Let's get a little bit of the heartage that was there. Was there anything in the shop? Yeah, go on then. I can't believe I'm in a position where I'm buying this in a mod run like this. Then again, mod runs aren't inherently supposed to be powerful. They're whatever the mod happens to request, isn't it? You know, we've gone delirium so often that I'm going to go to the fucking lamb. That's what, wait a minute, no, I forgot the Polaroid. Oh. You know, I was reading comments and they were like, can we please see the lamb? Hell, I'll even take Isaac. And I'm like, yeah, you know what, you're right. And then I just had this moment of, let's do it. This moment of defiant rebellion against what normally happens. As I was like, yes, let us stand together and kill something we don't normally. Let us feast on lamb flesh, brethren of mine. And then it instantly backfired when I realized I forgot the key to lamb flesh. So, I guess we'll have to settle for Satan flesh. It's not quite as impressive, but I imagine it still gets the job done. Then again, it's notoriously hard to cook, very heat resistant. Okay, there we go. You're getting very much melted. And then here come the hooves. Here come the hooves. So there we have it, everybody. Kind of messed up a little, but I don't suppose it matters too much. There's nothing there that would add to this mod. Yes, indeed. My name has been Rage. Like you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and I will see you next time. Oh, good boy.